Hey guys, Kate Kennedy here, and I'm sharing another layout using the May Hip Kit Club kit. So here's a picture of what the kit looks like, and also a picture of the exclusive cut files that you can find on our Facebook page. I'll put a link below. So what I did was I cut out the big triangle pattern, and I enlarged it. I made it a lot bigger. I cut it out to about 8.5 by 11, and then I laid it on top of my scrapbook paper, the white paper, and I took all those little triangles and I kind of fit them back together like a jigsaw puzzle with adhesive on the back, so that the triangles, the pieces that you're supposed to like throw away, I guess, and um, are actually going to be the part that I use. So as you can see, I'm just taking all those little triangles, putting adhesive on the back, not a lot, and laying them down back where they belong. And then I'm going to take this heavy body gesso and gesso the entire thing. And you're going to want to make sure that this is really dry. And it took a little while to dry. I dried it with my heat tool, and I'm a little impatient. And it will buckle more. The more you dry it with the heat tool, the more it will buckle, basically. If you let it air dry, it won't buckle nearly as bad, but I was in a hurry. So I'm using these things. They're called Neocolor 2 water-soluble crayons. They're kind of like gelatos, kind of like a crayon. They're really cool. And I'm using this pink color. I can't remember the name of it. And you basically just draw it on like a crayon, and then move the color around with a brush with some water. Now this is actually the first, I think it's the first time, other than just like playing with them on paper, the first time that I've used them. Definitely the first time I've used them on gesso, and I feel like they would probably do better on watercolor paper, but I'm pretty happy with the end result. I think it looks kind of cool. So it's just something fun to experiment with. So you can see there, you can still see all that gesso, and you can definitely see the triangles, but I want the triangles to stand out a little bit more. So I'm taking a gelato and just rubbing that color on top of the triangles so that they're a little bit of a different color than the rest. And I'm using that piece of basic gray floral paper as kind of that paper right there, as kind of a guide, because there's kind of that purpley pink and then that like corally pink. So that's what I tried to create on the background. And I'm just laying, I'm at this point, I'm just using scraps. This is my third project this month, and I have a lot of scraps already. So I like to try to use those when I can. And I knew this wasn't going to be a pattern paper heavy layout because I didn't want to cover up that background. So I'm just going through the embellishments. I've cut that little happiness found from the bottom of a chic tags paper. I don't end up using it. I end up using mostly this basic gray chipboard, and then this tag from the Amy Tangerine +1 collection. And I also end up using that glassine bag that part of some of the embellishments from the kit came in. I was taking them out and I was like, that'd be a cute layer, so I just stuck it behind there. So now I'm just kind of fiddling, and this is going to be a pretty dimensional cluster here because I want it to kind of stand up off the background a little bit. You'll see as I go along. So I'm stapling it all together. That's a trick I learned from Emily, another Hip Kit Club design team member. And I put the picture up on some pretty thick foam dots. So I'm just making sure that all the layers are adhered because I just used the staples and I didn't think that they all got stapled. So I'm cutting about 1/4 of an inch off of all 4 sides, or 1/2 an inch off of 2 sides, so that I can put this onto, I need to back this white paper because it's kind of wrinkly. And instead of just backing it on white, which I could have done, I thought it needed a little something around the edges. So I'm going to back it on another piece of pattern paper. So I'm adding this little basic gray chipboard piece. This is probably my favorite piece from the chipboard. I think it is so cool with the lines, and it says this, what does it say? This so happened. And then it has like the ink splatter. I really like that. So this is a picture that I took of a department store in Paris, and it's an amazing store. It's an iconic store, and the photo is kind of one of those pictures that I was like, when I first looked at it, I was like, oh, what a terrible picture. It's all red because it was at Christmas, so it had different color lights on it, and I kind of brushed it aside. And then when I was going through looking for photographs to document today, I saw that and I was like, what a cool picture. It's kind of red and it'll look awesome with these papers. So it's kind of funny how at one point in your life, something is you know, useless to you, and then at another point it's the perfect thing. Anyhow, so I'm just outlining these triangles and then outlining the whole paper, and then filling in some journaling and fussing with these letters. And I think we have either 2 or 3 girls on our design team from France, so I am no longer ever going to try to pronounce anything in French again like I have in previous videos, because I do not want to butcher their beautiful language. So I'm just going to let it say that it says Paris, I love you in French. So I'm taking some score tape. And yeah, it is actual score tape. I've had like generic brand score tape and it doesn't work. So this is actual score tape. And the only one I have is this super thin one, which is kind of a bummer because it takes me forever to get all of these lines of score tape down. But I tell you, this works in keeping your, you're not going to unwarp your paper, but you can smooth it out a pretty good bit by doing this. You create a grid basically of score tape along the back of your layout. And it might work with ATG tape. I don't know. I don't have an ATG, but it definitely will not work with that Tombow glue. It's not strong enough. And I do have the super strength Tombow, but it would take way too much of it. So I'm just using the score tape. It works perfectly. I just wish I had a thicker one. So I start in a corner and kind of smooth it out as I lay it down onto this Dear Lizzy paper. And that works really well in kind of getting it, you know, flat. So that pretty much finishes the layout. I added that little geotag. I'm going to kind of show you close up, but I'm going to have some photographs also. So when I was making this layout, I had to test out if this background was going to work. So I did it on a smaller piece of, I cut a smaller die cut. I used that triangle die cut and I cut it smaller, and I ended up using it on a card, and here is that picture. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all real soon. Bye.